So we've seen a lot of fires and hoverboard instances over the past couple months. Can you tell us why these things are happening?
There can be many reasons for a fire in a product like a hoverboard, but from our research, it seems to point mainly to the battery pack that's in the hoverboard. We have tested lithium-ion batteries here at UL for over 15 years and have a body of standards and requirements for these type of batteries. However, in a hoverboard, there are many more batteries than there would be, say, for example, in your cell phone or in your laptop. So a problem with any one of those cells can translate to the domino effect to many others in that hoverboard and cause a fire.
Great. Can you talk me through the difference between a battery cell and a battery pack in the hoverboard?
When UL tests a product, it doesn't only test the entire product, it goes down to the basic components and even the materials in the components. For example, this is a cell. The cell is something that is a part of a battery pack in a hoverboard. This is just one cell. We do a battery of tests on these, no pun intended, but we do a lot of tests on these cells and make sure that they are sufficient to contain the energy that might be built up when there is a malfunction in the cell. This could lead to expansion of the enclosure, could lead to an explosion of this one little cell. So we do a lot of tests on these cells to make sure that they can comply with our requirements. The cell is then built into a battery pack. The pack in this case for this hoverboard is 20 of these cells. The battery pack is also something that we test and make sure that it's done properly. The battery pack is ultimately put into the hoverboard, like right here, and that's just one of the many components in the hoverboard. The hoverboard is evaluated considering not only the battery pack, but also the charger, considering the motors, control circuits, the wiring inside, even the enclosure is looked at to make sure it's sufficient to withstand the various impacts and heat that it might see in a normal operation.
And we've talked about some of the tests that UL does for hoverboards. Can you tell me a little bit more about those tests?
The tests UL does in the standard for hoverboards, which is actually called self-balancing scooters, although most people call them hoverboards, is a wide variety. We do electrical tests, we do mechanical tests, performance tests, even dictating what kind of marking should appear on the hoverboard. The electrical test could include overcharging or over-discharging of the battery pack. It could include dielectric testing, where we stress various parts inside the hoverboard electrically to make sure they're not too close together. The mechanical test could be something as simple as dropping the hoverboard. The specification is that the hoverboard is dropped 1 meter onto a concrete surface 3 different times on 3 different surfaces. We have a crushing test on the hoverboard. We even have a partial immersion test where we put the hoverboard in water because it's understandable a hoverboard might be ridden in the rain, it might be ridden through puddles on a sidewalk, so it's something that is very logical as far as our test program. All of these tests come basically from other standards. We have a 122-year history of developing safety standards, so we certainly are able to put together a group of requirements that are very applicable to these hoverboards.